Hello, my friends. Please forgive the lateness of this video. I had some stuff going on, but I finally want to talk about the Treehouse presentation from yesterday where they talked about Super Mario Brothers, you get it, and Pokopia. I did stream myself watching the presentation, and it was pretty funny because during the Pokopia part, my neighbors moved, and they've been fixing up their house. And so there's been like, first they were doing the roof, and then they were doing the lawn, and then yesterday, someone was sawing something. There was a saw, and I think it was right outside my door. It was super loud. So that was happening during the stream. That was really fun to like deal with. It's also funny because like to me, it was like so loud I could barely hear myself speak. But like, you know, I'm using a shotgun mic, so it doesn't pick up as much of the ambient noise. And then I think just like the streaming stuff, I think it kind of filters stuff like this. So like you can definitely hear it in the stream, but it mostly just seems like I'm just shouting super duper loud like a weirdo. It was a good time though. We all enjoyed it. We all enjoyed the guest appearance by my good friend Saw. It was funny. No, but we had a good time and the presentation was fun. I will say, you know, I don't want to look at the negatives too hard because like this is definitely a thing just everywhere with any kind of presentation anywhere. Like, you know, you can't read chat. You just can't, but like, I will say there's always been a lot of silliness in the chat with anything, but I just feel like these days people are almost like, they just feel like enabled to be just that much more weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's almost like with all the controversy or something, people just feel that much more justified being mean, just saying mean stuff, and not even just mean, but like, just like, gimme, you know, just like, where's this, oh, this looks like, like, just super hyper judging every single second, being really extra nasty about, like, the people running the treehouse. I don't know, so I did want to at least mention, just come on, like, can we just be grown-ups? Like, I don't know, am I just getting too old? What's going on here? But I just find myself really wishing that more of us could just kind of act like grown-ups. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like, both of these games look fine. They look fun, but like every second, everyone's just like, you can $70 for this, and it's just like, you can take any video game at all and find some like down moment where something explosive isn't happening and be like, can you believe like, really, is this the whole game? Like, it was just like, just cool your jets. Just like, calm down. It's just a gameplay showcase. Yeah, the Treehouse people, they're doing their best. Obviously, it's gonna feel a little awkward because Nintendo is gonna insist that they have to cover all these points, and so like, it's basically like, hey, do a thing that's pretty much scripted, except make it not feel scripted, and that's really difficult. I really do not envy the position that these people are in. They're trying their best here. So anyway, all that to say, the treehouse, like, it was a treehouse. It was a thing, yeah. There was some cringy stuff or whatever, but like, whatever. It's just a little gameplay showcase. Like, it's not a huge deal. Like, jumping to these, like, Nintendo is cooked if this is all they have for us. Like, it's just like you're jumping to the most ridiculous conclusions. Anyway, whatever, sorry. Point is, though, they began with Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Switch 2, blah, blah, and, you know, like, it didn't really, like, change my opinion on the game. I don't know if it changed anyone's opinion. It's basically just what we expected, you know? Like, it is what it is. Like, overall, the idea of doing extra content for Mario Wonder, it's like mainly multiplayer, is kind of like, yeah, it's like, who was really like asking for this? So it's not super duper exciting. It's just, yeah, it's just little Mario minigame stuff. But like, it still does look fine, like, for what it is, you know, even if I'm not personally interested in the multiplayer stuff, for what it is, it does look fun. There are a lot of different modes. There are a lot of different individual modes and activities for people to take part in. And I do think that's cool, you know, even if multiplayer Mario's not my thing. If it is your thing, you're probably gonna have a great time with it. You know, a bunch of friends getting together, it probably is gonna be fine. And you know, there is single player stuff in there too. They didn't really touch on that too much, but I'm pretty excited about the whole Toad Brigade challenge thing. Well, excited is a strong word, but like, it looks fun. You know, I definitely, I'm curious. I'd like to go. It seems like it could be a nice thing. I love the game. I just love how it feels and controls. You know, I've said it a million times. It's my favorite 2D Mario game. I just love the way that it plays and looks. So it's really nice to have a reason to go back to it and just more levels to play, especially if they get kind of challenging. Because, you know, if there's one of the problems with the base game is just that there aren't that many levels that really demand that much of you. So if this is a way for them to introduce some challenge back into it, then like, yeah, like I'm happy with that. You know, the idea of like climbing up the ranks of the Toad Brigade, that seems kind of fun. They did not touch on the whole like Koopaling chase thing where you gotta like track them down. I was curious to see that because that's still something that we don't really quite get. We still don't quite know what that whole thing entails. It could be that they plan on sharing that with us later, because we still have a month until the game comes out, or it could just be that they don't want to spoil it, because if, like, part of the fun is finding them, then even if you show off one, then that's just kind of, like, revealing how to do it completely and what that final, like, encounter with the Koopaling kind of looks like. They may just want to keep it with the stuff that they kind of touched on in the previous trailer, just being like, you gotta follow clues, and you find them, and then when you do, there's a big Wendy thing floating around. Like, just, yeah, I don't know. It could be they want to keep it a secret. I don't know. So yeah, overall, like, yeah, this Switch 2 edition, it's not super duper exciting, but it's fine. And you know what? Speaking of chat, I did see some people, you know, I saw plenty of people being like, you know what? The amount of content isn't terrible. You know, it's not a full new campaign or whatever, but again, just as far as like number of modes, number of like new types of gameplay that it brings in, it's really not bad. It really is a pretty good amount of stuff. Ultimately, you won't know for sure until I get my hands on the game myself. But I don't know, it looks fine. It looks like what it is. Pokopia was naturally a lot more exciting because as I said before, I just was really curious to see what like more the moment-to-moment gameplay. Like, when you just sit down with the game, what does it look like? What does an hour with Pokopia look like in terms of, like, pacing and activities and whatnot? So it was really nice to see all of these systems that they have touched on in the trailers and kind of see how they gel together into the actual playable experience. And it's another thing where there wasn't a lot of, like, surprise, you know? There wasn't a lot of stuff, like, revealed that we didn't know about before. But it was really, really nice to see just to get a clearer picture of the whole thing overall. Obviously, very, very heavily Dragon Quest builders coded. Like, very, very much so. And it was nice to see them kind of, like, moving around the environment. The abilities, they went way more into, like, the abilities that you learn from the Pokemon and what they do. They showed off, like, sucking up stuff like Kirby. I mean, like, the face even looks like Kirby. It's really funny, and that's how, like, you gather up materials. And just, yeah, like, interacting with blocks and placing them and stuff like that. How you have to traverse the environment in order to get where you need to go. So managing and using the abilities, it also went into like the inventory system and the crafting, and yeah, it showed like the item menu, and it's just straight out of Animal Crossing. Like, it looks identical, even just like the way the character it just like it's pulled straight out of Animal Crossing, and which is like fine, you know, good. I mean, it's charming, you know, like this is a game that's a little Pokemon, a little Dragon Quest Builders, which itself is a little Minecraft, and yeah, it's a little Life Sim, it's a little Animal Crossing, it's a lot of stuff added together, but like these are all very nice elements, aren't they? These are all things that seem to mix together into a pretty nice, charming experience. And it went into more detail about like altering the environment in order to attract the Pokemon in that lovely, delicious Viva Pinata way that I've been waiting years for. So that's nice, you know. It even shows like, oh, you need like this many rocks and this many bushes, and that's going to attract this Pokemon here. So getting into that system was pretty interesting. Helping the Pokemon with requests, a little bit more about that, and then I think really the most interesting thing about the presentation was just like showing off the environment, and like basically they went to a little place that was like basically like Pallet Town. Like I haven't like looked super deep into this, but like I think the idea might actually be that this is the Pokemon world and something has happened and scared all the humans away or something. Like, not necessarily post-apocalypse, but like I think these may actually be it's what it sounded like. These are real places, or at least like facsimiles. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, like, yeah, like there are towns, and there are even like what look like abandoned towns, abandoned places. So you really are restoring these places. You really are restoring and rebeautifying, and even like the buildings themselves. Like there's actually a pretty big emphasis on buildings, like building buildings for the Pokemon, for your Pokemon friends to live in, and decorating them like kind of Animal Crossing style. But then even just restoring these places like towns. You know, you rebuild collapsed Pokemon centers. And it showed like a little town area, and it was talking about how to get power to the town, you have to like build a power grid and like run wires through. And like, it's weird. It's like getting way more into like town sim, you know, like city sim stuff than I think I anticipated. I thought it would mostly just be about like, oh, you just make a cute little garden, you know, make a cute little garden and bring your Pokemon in. And yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty great. And at this point, especially after seeing this presentation and seeing that moment-to-moment gameplay, I mean, I definitely want to try it out. I really am open to playing it. I want to play it. I'm excited to play it. And I hope that I like it. I'm just also recognizing that, you know, I'm always going on about it. As time goes on, I have less patience for games that just use up too much of my time, that are like too grindy, you know, and I really do need tangible goals. The goal can't just be make everything look nice because it's nice to make things look nice. I generally do not decorate in games. You know, I don't have the patience to like beautify. So as far as like the more, you know, like the farm sim stuff and like the landscaping and even like building houses and stuff, I really do hope that a lot of that is tied to like actual real progression. There's a reason to do this stuff. It's because it creates this resource. You know, you're planting stuff so that it grows stuff so that you use the stuff. I mean, and it does look that way. Like there's a crafting system. So like obviously there's going to be that kind of loop. It's just like how far does that go and how much is required and how much of the enjoyment in the game is going to come from just beautifying, just having fun, like Animal Crossing. Because just hanging out in a little village and making everything pretty and having little friends, like that's, you know, that's totally valid. That's something that plenty of people love to do, and I used to love to do that kind of stuff. I just don't as much anymore. You know, I want game to play. I want a goal. I want to roll the credits so I'm allowed to stop. That's what I want. I want a game to captivate me and just grab me by the collar and yank me, just be like, this is what we're doing. You love to do it. You're gonna do it. And then you're gonna do it. And then it's gonna let go. And I can be done. That's what I want. That, to me, where I am in my life right now, that is the ideal gaming experience. I want to play it and roll the credits and be done with it and be like, that was a good game. So I don't know. There are some elements that it does seem kind of slow. It does seem a little slow and ponderous. Even like the little ability animations are like a little bbit slow. Apparently there are real-time elements. I didn't realize it's like Animal Crossing. So it you know, measures time with the real-time clock. So if it's nighttime in real life, it's nighttime in the game. Which is, I mean, it's interesting. It's fun. You know, that reminds me of Gold and Silver back when they did that, which was amazing. It was mind-blowing, by the way. And apparently there are real-time elements with like building stuff. Like there's going to be like in-game timers, like some stuff will like take a day or whatever to build. So it's that way like Animal Crossing as well. And I'm a little bit torn on that. I should be okay with it because if Animal Crossing does it, then that means it's an okay thing to do, right? But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to hit the same way. Am I going to be like, oh, that's cool. That adds to the immersion. Or is that just going to be annoying? Is that just going to get in the way and just going to be like, okay, well, I'm trying to play a game. I want to roll the credits. I want to see everything that it has to show me. And if a bunch of stuff is on timers, because it insists that the only way to beat this game is to play every day for a month, you know, like I don't know if I have that kind of patience. So we'll see. That's really all there is to say for now. Basically just that like the presentation was good. It was fine. And we got to see like multiplayer. That looks really cute. There's a lot to look forward to. I am looking forward. And it's coming out like really, really soon, right? Like a week and change. Wow. Yeah, no, that's really super soon. So yeah, overall presentation was all right. I mean, I couldn't hear all of it. There was that saw. There was there was that saw. It had a lot to say, and yeah. But I had fun watching it. It was fine. Obviously, it's not a Direct. It's not a Nintendo Direct. It's a Treehouse. It is what it is, so I don't know. Whatever. And I do want to thank everyone who did join me for the stream, especially those of you who, you know, were adults. Just, you know, we're adults. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to put myself on pedestal here. I'm looking for like just kind of a minimum level of maturity. You know what I mean? Just like a baseline level of civility that we can maybe try to shoot for.